If you're relying on the VA to properly document your condition, you're already losing. A DBQ puts that power back in your hands. Let me put this another way. The VA doesn't care how you feel. They care what's written. They care what's checked, what's measured, what's formatted. And that's what legally fits inside their rating criteria. A DBQ, the Disability Benefits Questionnaire, is your opportunity to show exactly how your disability impacts you in a format that VA understands and respects. And yet, most veterans have never even heard of it. Or worse, they think the only way to get one is from a rushed C&P exam. I'm here to tell you that's just not true. And that myth is costing you time, money, and ratings, and peace of mind. So what is a DBQ really? A DBQ is a standardized medical form the VA created to rate disabilities. It asks all the questions the VA wants answered. What symptoms do you have? How often? How severe? How does this affect your ability to work, live, and function? Does it flare up? And are you limited in a range of motion, energy, stamina, or ability to focus? Here's where it gets powerful. You don't have to wait for the VA to fill it out. You can bring your own. Filled out by your own medical provider, someone who actually takes the time to examine you, understand your condition, and document the truth. Compare that to a C&P exam where the provider skims your chart, asks 3 questions, never looks you in the eye, and submits a half-baked DBQ filled with normal checkboxes. We see this all the time. And the result? You get lowballed, or worse, denied. But when you submit your own DBQ, you take control of the evidence. You speak the VA's language, and you speak it with facts. Let's talk real consequences. Without a DBQ, your symptoms are left up to interpretation. Your condition is boiled down to a few vague lines from someone who barely knows you. Your life-changing disability is reduced to mild or not impacting occupational functioning. And then that rating hits. 0%, 10%, or flat-out denial. Now what? You file an appeal? You wait another 6 months? You might even give up because you think you did something wrong. I've seen veterans lose years of back pay, tens of thousands of dollars, all because they didn't know about DBQs. But if you submit a complete, accurate DBQ, especially from an experienced provider, you cut through the noise. You give the VA no excuse. You turn maybe into granted. And let's be honest, you earn these benefits. The DBQ is how you prove it. Let me tell you a story about Jessica. Jessica was an Army veteran who came to me frustrated, exhausted, and defeated. She had bilateral plantar fasciitis and chronic knee pain, and every time she filed, it would come back as 0%. Why? Because the VA C&P examiners kept writing pain on use, but no evidence of functional loss. She was limping, couldn't stand for long periods, avoided stairs, and had to even change jobs. But none of that showed up in the VA paperwork. So we sat down. I asked detailed questions. I did a full musculoskeletal exam. I filled out a DBQ that clearly showed reduced range of motion, functional impairment, pain with weight bearing, and flares during long shifts. We submitted it with a supplemental claim. The results? 30% rating and over $18,000 in back pay. And more importantly, validation. She told me, I finally feel like someone saw what I've been living with for years, and that's what this is all about. Let's break this down into 3 critical things you need to know about DBQs. Not all DBQs are created equal. There are over 70 DBQ templates, each one tailored to a specific body system or condition. PTSD has its own, migraines has its own, GERD, IBS, knee conditions, sleep apnea. They're all separate, all specific. If you submit the wrong DBQ or a generic letter, it won't help you. If your provider skips boxes, doesn't explain functional loss, or uses handwritten forms, it's probably going to just be thrown out. So right now, I want you to click here to watch our podcast episode where we break down the difference between a Nexus Letter and a DBQ and show you exactly what goes into a successful DBQ. Don't just file a claim, file it smart. Another reason DBQs are important is that they're not meant to prove service connection. So let me be clear, a DBQ alone will not get you service connection. It is used to show you how bad your condition is once it's linked to your service. That's why DBQs work best when your condition is already service connected, you're filing for an increase, you're appealing a low rating, or you're submitting a supplemental claim after a bad C&P exam. If you're just starting a claim, you may need a Nexus Letter first. That is the why. The DBQ is the how bad. If you don't use a DBQ, the VA will fill the blanks for you, and usually not in your favor. Let that sink in. No DBQ. The VA uses what they have. Incomplete exams, old records, Generic summaries. Submitting your own DBQ means you're not leaving your claim up to chance. You're presenting a clear, targeted, legally useful evidence. At Xterra Health, we do DBQs every single day, designed specifically for VA disability claims. And these are backed by detailed exam findings, functional impact analyses, VA regulation language, and peer-reviewed support when necessary. We don't just check boxes. We build winning claims. So now you know what a DBQ is and why it's one of the most important and powerful tools in your VA claim arsenal. But here's what I hear next. Hey doc, that's great and all, but how do I even find someone to start with and write a Nexus letter for me? Great question, because not every doctor will. Some don't even understand VA law, others won't get involved, and the wrong letter can hurt you more than it can help you. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through exactly where to find the right kind of doctor, what questions to ask them, and what red flags to avoid. This is the next piece in your claim strategy, and it might be the most important one yet. Click here to watch that next episode. And as always, if you're ready to get your claim mission ready, we're here to help. Xterra Health, service beyond self.